Hello, Natasha.
Hello, Damien.
It's the Lowbrow Lowdown. I think we just addressed the elephant in the room that
All right.
Natasha has a new cat.
I have a new cat. We have Penguin has joined the family, and Peanut is currently stalking him around the lounge room.
You might hear Penguin playing with some ping pong balls.
Yes. We do like alliteration in this house.
We do. Peanut, Penguin and the ping pong balls.
Yes. Sounds like a really stupid kids band.
It really does. And maybe they play instruments with ping pong balls.
What are the instruments that start with P?
Piccolo.
I don't know. Anything
Piccolo
else?
is a tiny flute.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh,
A
pan
pan
flute.
flute? Yeah.
Pan flute. Not pan flute, pan flute. Oh, yeah. If you want to drive all your friends away.
The piano. What's an instrument that starts with P? Like the most, like the one that we all learned. I remember having to go to the convent to learn piano in primary school.
Oh, no, I did not learn the piano.
I was
And I
not
never went
great
to a
at it. And it was just like, because I did play other instruments and was okay at them. It was the coordination of like two
The two hands.
I did really, really well until you had to start doing the syncopated rhythms. And my brain just couldn't do it, much to
The
everyone's.
embarrassment of your parents.
Oh, no, they didn't really care.
Okay.
I don't know, I think they had grand dreams of me being a church organist. They didn't have high hopes for me.
Church organist. There's not even a job.
Oh, there was
I'm
I
sure there-
remember
look,
at
I'm sure
one
there's
point where my
people
mum
out
was
there.
like, you should be a priest. I was
You
like,
should be a priest.
I was like, that sounds horrible. But also, have you worked out that I'm a homosexual?
But I'm not going
the
there.
darkness that like, but ugh,
No, because not, I think.
no.
But it just sounds like a very Irish Catholic thing. The seventh son of the seventh son must become a priest.
I'm the ninth son of the. I don't know what number Dad is.
Is he a
Third.
lot as well?
He's one of five. Mum and Dad are both one of five, and
Okay.
then they just never stopped. Look, I'm really happy they never stopped because I wouldn't exist if they had.
And we'd never have this podcast.
We would. You have the failure of the withdrawal method to thank. I might cut that out.
Look, it's probably more interesting than this book. So,
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hello, listeners.
hello, listeners.
I'm Damien.
I'm Natasha.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Lowbrow Lowdown. We are reading pandemic-themed literature.
Oh, so you don't have to. Oh, sorry, I was reading.
She's reading the pandemic-themed literature.
I'm reading the literature.
We're reviewing the first of two Christmas-themed, COVID-themed novels. And we're also going to reveal the title of next season's podcast, which we'll bring to you once we've had a little Christmas break.
Yes.
A well-earned Christmas break.
Well earned. It's been a tough year.
Yep.
On top of a tough year. Just they keep rolling around.
Yeah, look, I've got my fingers crossed for
I'm
2022.
feeling more optimistic.
Look,
But I've got too many historian friends who
who are
less
like, this
optimistic.
is how history will repeat itself further.
saying, so, historically. I was like, no, stop it.
Please stop.
Stop it. Let me have this.
So, Natasha, let's get into this week's episode. What did we read this week?
Okay, we read Utter Dross this week.
No, it's the optimal question. What did I just read?
What did I read? My brain cannot. It was so it's a book by K.A. Ricen. Coronavirus is coming to town. A COVID-19 steamy horror story.
Have they named themselves after the toxic chemical for which there is no
I
cure?
feel like they did. No, the thing that's made out of beans or some sort of bean.
Yeah, something like that. And if
And-
you're infected with it, you just die.
You just die. It's like there's a toxin so great that I don't know. And I think it was used for terrorist attacks somewhere.
I remember stories of like an envelope that was intended for the president.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
being flown on a drone.
Oh, God,
I
no.
think
No, I'm thinking of... Wasn't there a Japanese
I could be making this up.
cult that...
Last week, my rant on incredible sources is being destroyed. As I'm like, didn't someone try and kill the president with
Okay, so coronavirus is coming to town, a COVID-19 steamy horror story. It's Christmas. Everyone is dead. So why would you... Oh, well, see, this tells me more than the actual book did. All right.
We really should read the blurb, shouldn't we?
I should have read this before I read the book. Okay. It's Christmas. Everyone is dead. Reese's headaches are getting worse, and she has nowhere to run until he steps out of the alley. Reese finds herself torn between hating the virus that claimed everyone she loved and lusting after the companion she's always known. But things are not as they seem. Their passion quickly turns to violence, explosions, and a steamy tale of revenge. This story is Hallmark Channel meets Wizard of Oz meets Michael Bay with non-con elements.
What does non-con mean?
I don't know. I should have looked that up. The author really wants to pay off her student loans. Look, I don't think she's going to.
No, and what I'd suggest is reading it at least once before hitting publish.
Yes, just at least hitting F7 on your keyboard.
Yes.
Just freaking spell check. There are some...
Just asking
someone
a
else
friend
to read it?
to read this and say, can you follow what is being written?
Yeah.
And
I'm going to be that friend to K.A. Ricen. Karen, don't. I say Karen. I keep thinking Karen, so I'm calling her
we're going to call
Karen.
her Karen. Hi, Karen.
Yeah, hi, Karen. Karen, just go back in time and don't write this book and choose a different course at uni.
It's
It's really mean now.
yeah, dumb bitch. Oh, sorry, Karen.
It was okay. So I honestly have questions. Having read the book and now having read the blurb, there's a lot here that doesn't make sense, and things that are included in the blurb that are not included in the book. So, what companion if everyone is dead?
Is that
The
spirit inside her that is also her birthmark?
Oh yeah, what the fuck was that birthmark?
Oh, well, as someone with a birthmark on their stomach and like quite a large, I was like, when she was shy about it, I was like, oh yeah, no, I am too. Like I have this big birthmark on my stomach and I go, oh,
Yeah.
first time someone has to see that. It's always a bit awkward. But no, it was...
For me, it's just my stomach.
Well, actually, post-lockdown, it's currently...
Anyway.
It's currently like a stretched... Sorry, Natasha. Natasha was drinking, as I said, stretched out.
I was drinking my kombucha, no sugar.
I mean, if Remedy Kombucha wants to sponsor us,
We would look. I feel like I sponsor them, given how much I order each month. Yeah, slabs and slabbers of kombucha.
so this opens, and like I didn't understand that everyone was dead. I thought just one person had died.
Yeah, I didn't understand that everyone had died.
It only
and-
really became clear at the end.
It did only become clear at the end.
Everyone's dead, and she's walking through freezing cold, I assume Northern Hemisphere Christmas time, and there's all these Christmas decorations up.
And somehow
who put them
electricity. Well, I mean, we don't know when everyone died.
I mean,
they might have been put up.
if people were dying at such a rate,
You wouldn't be putting
you wouldn't
up
be putting up
decorations.
the neon gingerbread men, would you?
No.
Anyway, it's freezing, and apparently, as well as everyone dying, she is unable to obtain pants.
Yes, that's right, because she's walking along and the wind whipped her shirt around her shirt, revealing her thong underneath for just a second. It's like, okay, so it whipped her shirt and somehow blew off her pants. I mean, oh, well, she wasn't wearing any. I know.
Who knows?
So she's cold.
Yeah, she's very cold.
Underdressed.
And it's raining.
Or it's wet.
It's wet.
Yes.
It's unpleasant.
It's unpleasant. And then she heard laughter billow out from...
Yes, that was. I had that marked up. I was like, billow or bellow? Oh, we missed heels lifted,
Oh,
but
no,
the wrong
that's
heels.
the same sentence.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
too.
So she heard laughter billow out from a nearby alleyway, reverberate through the city. I mean, really?
Well, I thought everyone was dead.
Oh, everyone was there. So, well, yes,
Who's
everyone.
laughing?
Yes, one who's laughing. I mean, to be fair, I didn't understand. I didn't know that everyone was dead at this point. I just thought, oh yeah, there's just not many people around. I didn't get that sense that there weren't many people around. I just thought she's on her own, wandering around wet streets. So she. Oh no, that's right. The sentence that got me: the rushing air danced through her hair and rustled through her ears. And so, I just thought, so she's got an empty head, like. Yes. Rustled through her ears. So she couldn't tell if anything living was nearby.
So is everyone dead?
Well, according to the...
according to the end.
According to the blurb, everyone is dead. She's just wandering around the city with headaches for some reason. And, oh my goodness, where are we? Yeah, she's got headaches. And she has nowhere to run. I mean, what is she running from? If no one
virus, maybe. Look, okay, this could take a while.
We should probably run through the plot.
The plot is we now know everyone's dead. You don't really realize that unless you've read the blurb. She's walking through the freezing cold streets, and then she comes across she falls to the ground, and a man comes over.
Yes.
And helps her up and takes her into a warehouse that's full of swirling artwork. The artwork, I'm still not clear why it's there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why it's swirling, but whatever.
and
he lights a bazillion candles.
Yeah, he spends the next 4 days lighting candles.
Yeah. And while this is happening, she's thinking to herself that, oh, I should run, I should get away, but we don't know why. So...
Well, also, yes, a stranger has taken you to a warehouse and is lighting candles. Yes, you should run away.
What's to think about? And then with all the light from the candles, there's a bed in the middle of the warehouse.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
Yeah, and it's full of art. Art's romantic.
Come and see my etchings.
And then... They fuck. And I'm still she's overcome with lust, as apparently everyone is.
Yeah, even though she doesn't know him. But then
they don't really describe him.
They don't describe him, and she kind of tries to run away, even though she has seemingly enjoyed herself. Well, but then later maybe she doesn't.
Yeah, and so once it's all happening, God, this book is boring. It's bonkers, but it's boring.
It's extremely bonkers.
Once it's all happening, something inside her takes over. She ends up on top.
Oh, that's
right.
And
she's fucking him to death.
Yes, she kills him or something.
Yeah.
And there's lots of blood, his blood.
And it's his soul... has left his body.
I feel like I had an out-of-body experience.
Oh, it was genuinely so hard to follow.
It was very hard to follow.
There were paragraphs where I was like, I don't know what's happening, and I've read this 7 times.
So after, or in the middle of her fucking him to death, a dark feeling comes over her. A woman's voice rang out inside her. So it seems as though that she's possessed.
Well, and we do find out
that she's possessed by 2 demons.
No, one demon. He's the other demon.
Oh, he's the other demon.
And he created COVID because it wouldn't kill her because she was possessed. So he killed the entire world.
So he could find her.
So he could find this demon and have sex with
her. Somehow extract the demon.
Yeah.
So lots of blood. I mean, the sense I got was either he was bleeding or she was bleeding lots. And with the fucking him to death, his soul came out of his body. And
everything started catching on fire.
Everything started catching on fire, but his soul joined all of this blood and became real.
Is that what happened?
I feel like...
God, this was bad. This was just so bad. Anyway, then she...
Oh, but then her birthmark began to glow.
Oh, that's right. The birthmark began to glow. Mine doesn't do that. Just gets wider as I get bigger. Sorry.
Damien, be kind to yourself.
I went to an event on Sunday, some kind of Sunday session, and I felt very unattractive. Surrounded by like young, good-looking people, and I was like,
Damien.
I felt very old. Actually, sorry, side note. At one point, we're sitting in this upstairs of a pub that was also having a nightclub situation happening. And this very beautiful person, I don't want to assume their gender, came up and said, would either of you two bubbies love some K? And I was like, oh, no, thanks. Like, in the most, like, nah, I'm okay, thanks. Like, I assume, like, the next thing would be, it costs this much. I don't know how much ketamine costs.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. And look, no judgment on anyone who wants to do that. But also, I would have looked at me and gone,
don't.
nah. But also, maybe he looked at me and went, that boring fucker needs some ketamine. I don't know. I don't reckon I looked like I fit in. I didn't feel like I fit in.
And look, and if you feel like you don't fit in, you can project that as well. So
it was
and
also,
you don't have to fit in everywhere, my goodness. There are spaces for different people.
Yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of people that I recognize from Twitter, not because I follow them, but because they're very online and they're constantly like upset. And I was like,
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Oh, right.
And there was just these moments where I'm like, why do I know? Like, why do you look familiar? I was like, oh, actually, no, I know, because every 5 minutes you get retweeted into my like world
there are people...
with like the thing that you're outraged about that I don't think you really understand, but good on you.
Yeah, and I don't think you're really that outraged about. It's just a performative.
God, we're old. Like those
you
old.
You can see the look I'm giving Damien right
now. Sorry, but
anyway, we have digressed because we've had to.
Who wants to talk about this?
Oh, no, it's fucking hell. It's so shit. All right, so
are we up to the soap?
All right, so she ran away, started bleeding, her birthmark fizzled away or something. I don't know.
Disappeared as
disappeared.
As the headaches and the voice left.
Yes, apparently they were markers of demonic possession.
The demon that had cheated on him, and which is why he killed everyone.
years. Okay. Oh my goodness. Should we?
It's
like he explained it right
like
at the end.
Incel.
Oh yeah, that is.
I got cheated on, so I killed literally everyone.
I killed 7.5 billion people.
Fuck, this is dark.
It is very dark. So fluid leaking from her, ceiling crashed, souls sloshed and sputtered.
I think the souls came out of the artwork.
Oh.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
That was my understanding, is the artwork was the souls, and that's why it was full of artwork, because it was the 7 billion souls in this tiny warehouse.
Okay.
In the artwork.
Yeah. So the soul, oh, okay, right. And then she threw rocks at the soul. Oh, my Lord, it's so shit.
Actually, I did miss, sorry, this is way earlier, when they said he moved even closer. She felt her breasts stand to attention and warmth rush to replace the rain on her underwear. Can breasts stand to attention?
No, they cannot.
I also imagine that it's like they stand to attention to the sound of a shotgun cocking, like
a TikTok video.
Yeah. Absolutely. We had a cat named Fran, and sometimes, because she liked to sit on my shoulder, so sometimes I'd point her butt at Jacob, and then I'd go, I'd pump her tail and go, and then he did not like that.
No, I can't imagine that he would.
Nothing came out.
All right, so hang on. So the blood that
You're really like, where did the blood
Where
come
did that fucking
from?
blood come from? So, no, the blood was coming from her, even though he was bleeding as well. Anyway, she felt her birthmark was now gone. She traced where it used to be and felt a strange stirring. Only then did she find the strength to look down, and flowing from her was a steady stream of blood. She looked, and apparently she's wandered down the street trying to get away from.
Oh, is that what was happening?
We don't know, but she was not in the warehouse at that point. So only then did she find the strength. Flowing from her was a steady stream of blood. She looked back to see how far the trail had followed her, and she stumbled back, amazed to see that the blood behind her had raised up and was joining into one large mass. The mass approached her, sweeping up all the liquid in its wake. It reached inside her and pulled out the last of the blood before shimmering back into the form of the figure. He placed his hand over hers. So it worked, and he smiled, and the clouds peeled back from the sky. But it's night time, I thought, so what does it matter what the clouds are doing? And she recognised him somehow as a voice that had been speaking to her for years inside her head. I think. And she... so he had developed feelings for her, even though he had already had feelings for her, and now she could feel the same now. Yeah, that's not me, just rabbiting on.
Quote.
And so now she only had one soul tucked inside her ribs. She was more level. I don't understand any of this. So she, I don't know. Shall we look? I'll read out my
read
excerpt.
out your excerpt.
I mean, it's a bit. It's more. It's the excerpt that is the explanation, and I feel like everyone needs this because we
cannot make heads or tails of it, and it must be frustrating to listen to us go. And then something happened.
Okay, Rosha. That was the spirit inside you. I don't know what Rosha is. Anyway. Okay. Rosha was the spirit inside you. 1,000 years ago, she and I were lovers, but we fought viciously. She cheated on me with human after human. They couldn't resist her. One day, after a fight, she tried to slip a poison into my drink, a poison that only works on demons. I saw her do it, and I tried to enact my revenge, but she slipped away. For centuries, she hid in human after human, from their birth until their death. So she clearly possessed humans for millennia. It wasn't until a century ago, so 900 years this had taken him. It wasn't until a century ago that I had learned to communicate with the humans, even when I could not locate her. I started trying to really find her around the time you turned 5. It took me another 20 years to form a plan. Excuse me. So the headaches were her fighting you, she clarified. Yes, it took me forever to devise a way to track you down. Even though he found her when she turned 5? Finally, I realised I could turn myself into a virus. Viruses can't affect demons, so I could let it play out until only you were left. Then I knew you'd be easy to find. I mean, of course that would mean an end to humanity, which is a happy perk for me, but might also make the world a little lonely for me. So I decided to kill 2 humans with 1 stone. I decided to chase her out of you while having sex. That way your rising, conflicting emotions would meet hers and force her out of you, and I would ensure that the world would soon be repopulated with our offspring. And then the rapidly developing demon-infant hybrid moved inside her. She wanted to vomit there all over him. Instead, she leaned in and kissed him passionately. Well, don't you think we should practice our aim if we're going to be repopulate the world? The word with any the word with any efficiency. And then she enacted her plan to destroy him
with soap.
Because he was a virus.
So
that and that wasn't like, that's what all of that was about, and it's still.
But it's also that thing of like, this made no sense, and so the author had to load a shit ton of exposition.
Like that. that's the entire story. Like, I mean, that could have been an interesting story, this idea of people being possessed as demons chase each other through
and like
souls. Or...
Yeah, like last week's was this war between gods.
Yes.
It's like it could have been a war between demons, and
Yeah.
like humans were the unwitting sort of innocents, or like
the
victims of this
7.5 billion innocents,
which is also like the plot of so many kind of vampire werewolf rivalry films and books.
It has that feel of a vampiric. Oh, I mean, I was thinking of Anne Rice's books.
Yes,
given she
Vale,
died.
the incredible Anne Rice, who
Yeah,
did a lot of work to inform some of my queer awakening when I read her books far too young.
yeah. I read her books probably a bit, maybe not too young, but
I think I was 12. My school library had them, and
I was older.
Mrs. Mackerel was very happy to lend them out. She
Good on her.
probably didn't read Anne
Probably
Rice.
didn't read them.
Um,
I mean, Anne Rice apparently was quite problematic in terms of letting fan fiction be written. She would go cease and desist after anyone writing fan fiction of those novels, which would have been really good way to unpack a lot of the, and reuse some of the characters that got lost along different stories. But but the books I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the books. So,
yeah, I did too. It was a very sad thing to hear.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and very big, detailed stories that lasted for books and books, which when you're younger, are just
which I couldn't read now. I think if I tried to read that as an adult,
no,
because I used to also read. Do you remember like David Eddings and Isabel Carmody?
Oh yes,
and Sarah. I used to read those things and churn through it in like 2 weeks, like thousands of pages long. They're insane.
I can do it with audiobooks. Listen to serious audiobooks, but not reading now. It's like I feel like this podcast has tightened my field of view. I don't know, the what do you call it? Shit.
Attention span.
Thank you. I knew it was something that I thought I'm going to just look like
it's
an
gonna
idiot.
be like a bit of irony, like when you work out what it is.
Yeah, my attention span's gone to shit now that I read books that are 14 pages long.
Look, I will read my episode as well.
Please do.
I hope this is a good example. I found it really hard to follow, and I think part of it was there wasn't like a logic to how things were.
There wasn't.
So it's just before she like walks out. Overhead, the souls slashed into and sputtered against each other. They had grown into massive creatures that filled the sky. The darker one chased the lighter one in circles until she managed to grasp her talons around his neck. That was a car.
That was a car.
That was not.
Or a motorbike, we don't know.
He let out a sound that broke Rhys's heart. The dark soul dove down with Rhys's love in claw, slamming him and pinning him to the ground. Sorry, there was no punctuation there.
No.
The soul lifted her head and let out a blood-curdling call. Rhys could swear she felt the earth shake beneath her. She knew that when the dark soul's head came down from the cry, it would be to kill the figure. She could. Sorry, it's so hard to follow.
It's so hard
she
to follow.
couldn't let that happen.
I did highlight that one. It was like, what the fuck?
She picked up a small stone and hurled it at the creature. Like,
we don't know
here's
why.
Here's the other thing. Like, either no punctuation or short sentence with a full stop that doesn't really have anywhere to go.
No.
The stone landed smack between its eyes. It shook. Sorry, I'm doing a big pause between every full stop. It shook its head in confusion just enough to loosen her grip. The lighter soul seized the chance and shot up and biting the darker soul's head clean off. Like, I just read that whole thing and I'm like,
what is she talking about?
like, what the fuck is going on right now? And also, like,
who are these souls?
Have some, like, flow to the writing, not just like statement, full stop. Next thing, full stop. Next thing. And it's like, Jesus, it's like reading a legal brief. Is this a statement of claim? Is this, like, are we in demon court? And this is the statement submitted to the judge to show what the person is claiming happened to them. The witness says that the darker soul was swirling around the lighter soul.
And then another soul came and bit the darker soul's head off. I don't know. I highlighted that.
Maybe it was written by
passage. No, I did highlight that. Thinking, and I had to reread it a few times. Is it a spelling?
And so boring. Like, all this shit is happening, and I could not be more bored. And I don't think I've been bored. I've been annoyed, I've been frustrated, I've hated characters, but I've not been bored like this.
I mean, I don't know that bored. I mean, I feel like because I'm reading this for a purpose, so
yeah,
boredom.
It's not really a factor.
It's not really a factor. I mean, there was a couple of books ago that it was just like, I can't be fucked.
Peanut just jumped on the counter.
Oh, she's so not allowed to jump on the counter. Can you hang on 1 second?
It just, God, like, I feel like this is going to be our worst episode ever because it was like, there's not even any. Okay, so here's the thing that shits me most. Are we ready to talk about how it ends?
Oh, yes.
So the demon is killed with soap. The blood.
With soap. Look. I think we do need to have a quick
address the soap.
We have a quickly address the soap because apparently the demon said something to her like, "I've killed everyone in the world just to find you. How does it make you feel?" And she was really freaking angry about this, as you would be, because it's everyone in the world. What is she going to do? This live on her own
with her blood demon?
With her blood demon, like, that is disgusting and weird and makes no sense. And so she seduced the blood demon and tricked him into saying, "Oh, let's go to that cafe and fuck there." And
I mean, there's no one else in the world.
There's no one else in the world, so what else are you going to do? And she grabbed this big bottle of dishwashing liquid and poured it over him because he's a virus. It broke down
his lipid something.
The lipid bilayer separating and sloughing away. And he fell away and she chased him down, dosing him. Really.
Oh, dousing.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe she meant dosing. Who knows? It's weird. No, dousing him with the rest of the bottle and spreading it all over his massive body. So he just melted away to nothing because she got rid of the lipid layer. As we're all told to do at the start of the pandemic, to wash our hands because washing hands breaks down the lipid layers.
This is the Wizard of Oz thing. A wicked witch melting. I'm melting.
Yeah, all along it was her lipid layer.
Yeah. If only we knew. It must have been dishwashing water that was thrown on her.
That's correct. So yeah, and then it ended.
And importantly, it was all a dream.
Yeah.
And, like, here's the thing. This is the hallmark of really shitty writing of, like, it didn't need to make sense because it was all a dream.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Fuck off.
Like,
it just...
Come on.
It had to be... I mean, learning it was a dream on the last page doesn't undo the shitty story building that had happened in the previous
the
11 pages.
Like, because you can write the nonsensical nature, like, you know, the illogical nature of dreams in a very creative and compelling way, and people have. This is not it.
No. I mean, this is not a horror romance. Or comedy, whatever she called it.
Wizard of Oz.
Something.
Hold on, what was it?
Let's go over to the run sheet. Hallmark Channel meets Wizard of Oz meets Michael Bay.
So, because there are explosions. Michael Bay's he's a director.
Oh, okay.
Some say he's an author. I disagree.
Let's Google what non-con elements mean.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And maybe that's something I should know. But Michael Bay is famously known for, like, rather than great filmmaking, there's just lots of CGI explosions.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, I wish I hadn't looked this up. No. Non-consensual.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, my God. How
great.
fucking gross.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Non-con elements, thanks.
Just went down in estimations. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ricen.
Karen.
If we couldn't have hated the incurable toxin enough.
I'm going to look up ricin. Ricin vaccine. Oh, there is a vaccine.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no, it's in development.
Oh, well, look, no one's going to take it because my body, my choice. Do you want to be vaccinated against this thing that if you get exposed to it, you will
Castor
die?
beans. That's what
Castor
it is.
beans. Yes. Oh my God. Because I was talking to someone and they were like, there used to be castor trees everywhere, but now there's not because
Terrorists.
and like apparently like in Melbourne in particular, they're just occasionally castor trees in people's backyards. They just don't realise.
It's like datura trees and drop into people's water and like, oh, my neighbour was going insane. It's like, there's a tree dropping on her water tank and she was poisoning herself. Yes.
Look, this was terrible. There was like
It was extremely terrible.
there was a moral at the end where like she
Oh,
saw her husband. He was like, "I don't need a mask," and she was like,
Please wear a
having
mask. I've had
this
this terrible dream.
But she didn't tell him. She was like, "You must wear a mask."
No, I mean, it's not like it was a prophecy.
I mean,
or
she clearly thought it was.
Oh my god! I mean, the author did finish the book, thank God. So remember this, dear reader. Oh, dear reader, dear listeners, have fun where you can, and don't shame yourself for cracking jokes or having weird, steamy dreams during these strange times. But remember to take this virus seriously when it matters, and honour those lost by wearing a freaking mask when you go out. I mean, look, that's good advice. That way we can end this virus and going back to having wild and crazy sex with whomever consents. Stay safe because you and all of humanity matter.
So, like,
Can we just underpin that consent?
yeah, consent, please. There is something here, and we talked about this. I listened. It was the New Yorker, the Daily. They had the episode where they interviewed the woman who analyzes people's dreams, like in a scientific way, and it was really, really interesting.
Okay.
And she was really focused, and so she did this with 9/11 as well, like how dreams affect people
told me about
impacted
this,
by
like,
by a big
Like
event.
major events.
And so her like sort of, I guess, hallmark research was what happened on 9/11 and how that impacted people's dreams. But she had been analyzing the dreams of people through COVID and asking them, have your dreams changed? And we talked about this a bit because my dreams changed
Yeah, my dreams changed.
not like straight away, but like 6 months into living in lockdown, I started, and admittedly I was watching lots of zombie films, but it's still happening.
Same.
It's still happening. Like most nights, the dream that I remember, because you dream lots, but you don't always remember them. But the dream that I remember is often I'm part of a group of survivors in the zombie apocalypse.
Okay, right.
And like you have sometimes featured, our other friend Brian has sometimes featured as well. And it's not scary.
Okay.
It's not like, oh my God, I don't know. It's like we're all weathered and wizened to this thing, and like killing the zombies, which does sometimes happen in the dream, is just like a thing we have to do. And it's really weird. Like, and it's been for like months that I've been having these dreams.
The same type of dreams.
Yeah, and they're not like the same dream every time, but they're kind of within a theme. And
see, my dreams are extremely different to that. We're going to talk. This is going to become that kind of podcast now.
talking about our dreams.
Talking about our dreams.
What do our dreams
We'll
mean?
be analysing body language next. That crazy account on Twitter that analyses body language. I'll send it to you. It's bonkers. No, my dreams are all about escape and travel. Not travel as in going on holiday, but just literally getting on my bike and cycling for days and days and days and weeks, and literally to the end of the earth until I hit the sea. All of my dreams of that nature, and there were so many. I would just cycle and just hit the sea. So it was clearly, and no one else was around. Other people were around, but not. I don't do things in groups.
No. There was pre-pandemic, I stupidly watched a film called Octoshark. Now, look, here's the thing. I love horror films.
Yeah. Is that one of those horror films so bad that it's
Yeah,
good?
it's terrible. And it wasn't good.
Okay, damn. Not like Sharknado.
No, it wasn't like Sharknado. Sharknado's better. Octoshark, it's a shark and an octopus. It's a shark with octopus legs.
Oh, fuck.
And so, come on, land. There's also a film called Land Shark. Guess what?
Octoshark versus Whale Wolf.
But here's the thing. I can watch pretty much any horror film, but I can't do the sea.
Oh.
And I saw Jaws really, really, really young.
Oh, no.
Right before the family drove from from Victoria to Queensland for a beach holiday.
Wow.
And like, just have never quite recovered. My brother Patrick also hasn't quite recovered.
When I was living in Queensland, I think I must have been 8 years old. There was a documentary about things in the sea that will kill you, and I watched it. And I was clearly far too young, and it took me years to be okay about going into the ocean.
I am in my mid-30s, and I'm still not okay.
I'm not great. I mean, I go swimming. Oh, I'm not.
I
a
will
very
go
good
to
swimmer.
like knee-deep water.
Yeah,
if there are
we're talking
slower
Port
people
Phillip
around
Bay,
me.
Back Bay, not Back. Yeah, the safety beach.
Yeah.
Where it goes up to your knees for 100 meters out. It's just.
Well, except that my mother, when I was really young, was like, sharks can swim into ankle-deep water. So, like, I was fucking terrified.
Your mother.
I don't know. She had too many kids. Like, it's a way to control them. Don't go in the sea. You'll get eaten. There we go. He's not going to drown.
Control. Sorry.
Look, we don't want to talk about this book.
No,
because
we don't.
It was crap.
It was so crap.
I have nothing to add.
I've
We
got
talked
nothing
about
to
our
add.
dreams. They were more interesting than this book.
Should we talk about season 2?
We should. So season 2 of the Lowbrow Lowdown is all
Yes.
about zombies.
All about zombies. All of those hints we were giving about zombies. Well, apart
And
from
my
last
dreams.
week. Yeah. It was just season 2 is Damien's dreams.
Oh, fuck. It's going to be really boring.
We will explore the hypothesis. Oh, no, we did talk about this last week.
We did. We can
Yeah.
repeat it, though.
Yeah, so we'll explore the hypothesis that zombie movies, TV series and books, and we're still not sure exactly what we're going to be reviewing, but we'll get there, provide us with a snapshot of culture and society at the time of their creation.
So Damien and Natasha, that's us, will explore the zeitgeist through a trashy undead lens that touches mostly upon horror, but will cross over into action, comedy, sci-fi, dystopian and apocalypse subgenres.
We can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch. And in Damien's case, it'll be rewatching because he's, to quote, I've watched every single movie. No.
I've watched a lot of zombie films.
Yeah.
And look, there's going to be lots of zombie flicks and we want to share our laughter-filled opinions with you.
Yes.
I think the exciting thing is... Oh, someone's arrived.
Someone's home.
So we're calling it Unpacking the Undead.
Unpacking the Undead. That
Which we like alliteration.
yeah, we can't.
Lowbrow Lowdown, Pandemic Pros, Unpacking the
Yeah,
Undead.
Peanut and Penguin play with ping
Yes.
pong balls on the piano
With a piccolo.
with a pan flute in the background.
And so we're really keen to do this. I think it'll be interesting because there is like a lot more kind of out there about. Yeah, we've been focused on something so current. Hi, Liz. We've been focused on something so current that it's kind of been, we're just having to work out how it fits in the world and share our opinions with it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is going to have a bit more of a chance to kind of think about, well, what do we know now that we can sort of interpret has influenced this thing that's happened and how they've portrayed this. And, you know,
And it'd be really interesting to see if there's any movies released this year or next year that reflect the pandemic.
Yeah. And
Not that we want to focus
No.
on the pandemic, but I think it's too big not to acknowledge.
yeah, absolutely. And certainly, look, there have been things like Grey's Anatomy is really up with it. And like they are like,
It's like 23 seasons long. I'm really
yeah,
behind.
the 2020 season was all like them dealing with COVID because that's how current it is.
So I've seen it dealt with during Morning Wars. I don't know if you've seen that. It's
I haven't seen it, but I do want to watch it.
yeah, it's really good.
There's also a really good horror movie, if you have Shudder, called Host, and it's a group of friends doing a Zoom seance during the pandemic.
Is it similar to that? No.
They recommend you watch it on your laptop.
Okay, for that.
Yeah, because you
Closed
feel like you're in
screen.
on the meeting.
Yeah, okay. Oh, God, that does sound like a horror movie.
Honestly, like, probably one of the scariest things I've seen in a while. And it
See, I'm not super great with scary, and I know that I'm trying to change that.
It might not be a good one.
Yeah,
You
then,
know?
okay.
You
Yeah.
might want to watch it, like,
In the middle of the day.
in the middle of the day, yeah. I think it was really, really well done. So there are things being made, and people are doing things in really creative ways
Yeah.
to, like...
That's true, that movies over Zoom. Sorry, I'm just... You probably heard part of that. Fuck, it's hot. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just gotten really
It's
hot
really
all of a sudden.
warm.
So I think we might need to
Might be
wrap
time
up
to
so I can
wrap
put
up.
on the air conditioning again. Tell us what you think. We're at lowbrowlowdown@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at lowbrowlowdown.
We would love to hear what
We'd
you
love to
think
hear
about
from you.
this.
I'm going to give this book half a star. And
No.
only because, half a mask out of 5.
mask.
And only because Karen at the end said that we need to wear masks.
Yeah.
I agree.
Look, I'll give it 1. She had a good message at the end. It was weird and didn't make sense.
No, it
and
did not.
I resent anyone who's like, I'm going to just say it was all a dream, and that's the reason it
It's
didn't
just
make sense.
sloppy and a bit lazy. Just a bit lazy. Yeah.
So,
All
yeah.
right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Take care.
Damien.
Bye.
Bye.